Hello there, welcome back. Thanks for being here. So, in our last lecture, we have understood how to proxy a call through WireMock. So, we have hit the local host and we were successfully able to route ourselves to google.com. So, this is one of the beautiful feature, and we also understood that this is very much useful when you wanted to test the microservice model application, like how one microservice will talk to another microservices in terms of fetching the data or providing the data. So now I've something new for you in this video, which is recording a call. So we are trying to record and play the transaction. So what is recording, and what is the necessity of recording something, and why should we get into this stuff? So if you have a question, so please understand, guys, recording is something that it is general English meaning, so that you record something and you keep it for yourself so that you can use it for your future purpose, like whenever you wanted to play around. So whatever the thing that you have recorded, you just listen to it. Say for example, if it is a music or if it is something that you wanted to hear, you multiple times you keep it in a recorded way, that file, and you will replay it like the number of times that you want. So in a similar fashion, in testing domain, so we get into a situation where we need to record some third party calls. So why should we recording third party calls? Say for example, as a QA engineer, uh, me testing in lower environments. So basically the testing starts in the lower environments, and as long as the application develops and it becomes sophisticated, so you move it to higher environment and you test it. So say for example, development is the very basic environment, and you'll have some sandboxes, staging, and then you'll have system testing environment, integration testing, and then UAT and prod. So as long as the environment capabilities becoming more, as far as you are going high in the hierarchy, you tend to see a lot of downstreams usually getting engaged. Say for instance, I am an engineer for a Flipkart application, and Flipkart essentially talk to a lot of other applications. Like Flipkart might have integration with payment gateways such as PayPal, Amazon Pay, or direct banking systems, or a Paytm, phone pay. So many other systems are there. And when you see, the payment gateways will in turn work with the actual bank system. So which means in order to complete a one payment transaction, so three systems are involved, and all three systems have to talk to each other and get the data that is necessary for the operation to complete, and then give us a feedback saying that the payment is successful, or any feedback that is matter at that point in time. So now, as a QA engineer, where I'm testing in the lower environment, because the kind of testing that we're going to do most likely happens at the very basic environment, because we are doing TD, test driven development. So development is not ready yet. So in fact, even before the development, we are starting our testing. So in those cases, probably you will not have engagement of your downstreams. Like how do you imitate those calls? Like how do you engage your payment gateways or banking systems to complete your transaction? So you cannot wait until, and at the same time, and you cannot defer those test cases as well. So you need to find a way around. So what do? You will just record a call. You will have to understand the business that happens between your system and the external system, and if at all the access given in higher environment, you record the call, and WireMock has the ability to create a stub based upon the request that it is received. So which means WireMock, with the help of proxying, it does recording for us. Okay, so I'll just explain you like how this recording happens realistically, but have this understanding that WireMock facilitates us to record a call. So every time, so far what we have done, we created a stub on our own. Like we specified the contract saying like request block, in request block what are the fields required we mentioned, and in the response block what are the fields that we are expecting we mentioned, and we stored the contract in the mappings directory. So every time you cannot create a stub on your own, because you do not know the business that the other system works with. So in those cases, what you do, you try to automate the stub creation process. So ultimately the stub creation is happening through recording, and the recording is internally using proxying mechanism. Okay, so in this particular case, what happens is that I will try to record PayPal APIs or any payment gateway APIs and record those in terms of stubs. So when those stubs are given to me, I'll keep it in my local directory and I'll conduct my testing. So that way, even my end-to-end test cases are happening. Even when there is no application, no system is available, still my end-to-end cases are happening. So I'm not actually deferring or blocking my test cases. So let us see how that can be achieved through WireMock. So this is very interesting lecture, and I strongly recommend you guys to stay focused, and it is very easy as well, and it is that important, like I would say. So you have a documentation for recording as well. So if you come to the official WireMock documentation, you have clearly documented step like what is the recording process and how that does that work, and how to invoke WireMock recorder. This is the endpoint where the WireMock recorder would be enabled, and how do you actually capture a URL, and how do you record, and how to create a stub, and how to test it. Yeah, let me demonstrate how this happens. So let me set you the stage now. So let me go to one of the website called COVID-19 data flow kit. So this is a recently designed website. So ever since we are into this COVID epidemic, so this particular website gives us the status of number of cases in each country. I mean across the globe it gives. So if you come down, there are certain endpoints. Like if you wanted to know the updates, like a number of new cases, total deaths, or new deaths, and today's total number of cases and date, all this for entire country as entire world, or you wanted to specifically know it for Spain or USA, you have certain endpoints. So the moment I click on USA, so it has given me the data like how many active cases are present in USA on 31st of August, which means today date. Okay, so I'll record this website and I'll create stubs and I'll turn off my internet. What should happen? Ideally, when I hit my local host, it has to give me the data what you are currently seeing on my UI. It is fantastic, isn't that? So let us just quickly go there and let me invoke the WireMock recorder. So WireMock recorder basically presents in localhost 8081 //admin/recorder. Okay, so this is the screen that you have seen in the documentation has actually appeared here. So let me specify the target URL. So my target URL is this one. So I need not specify the endpoint, guys. Please remember that as far as I specify the URL or host name, that's all okay. And the endpoint that you're trying to automate would be specified when you are doing a CURL command through WireMock console. Okay, so in order to do this, WireMock should be up and running. So when WireMock should be up and running, only this endpoint would display you this page. Otherwise, it will give you an error saying that it cannot be found, page cannot be found. So now click the record button. So now the recording is in progress. So let me open the bash. Let me open the command line, and with the help of CURL command, I'll hit my WireMock for this particular API, USA API, so that it does proxying internally and it records this call. It will create a stub for me. It will keep it in the mappings directory. So that stub I can reuse as many times as I want. Even when I turn off my internet, it still works. Okay, so let us see there. Let us go there. So we have started recording already. I wanted to go to any directory for that matter. So I'm just opening git bash here. Guys, please understand that git bash I'm using because the CURL command is working, because I do not have command line tool installed. So I may not be able to execute this command on my Windows command prompt. So that is the reason I'm using git bash. So if you go to mappings directory, before that, just verify, let us verify how many stubs are present. So I think if you remember correctly, we have saved only one stub in our previous lecture. So the same stub present. If I open this stub, it gives us the student data. Now after recording, let's see how many more stubs would get created. So the command is CURL. I hope you guys know about the CURL command. Even if you do not know, so don't be panicked. So CURL is basically a command line tool which will help us to do multiple transfers, like to transfer files or to include files in the transaction. And it does supports all the calls, like it does supports HTTP methods, it does support SSL protocols and all that. So it is one such handy thing. Even when you are going through a documentation of any API, we have seen Jira before, like when I was explaining you the karate test automation before. So there, if you go to the documentation part, so in the documentation they would have specified for each and every endpoint like how to test this through curl command, just a quick test like how that can be invoked. Okay, so now what I do, http:// localhost 8081, this is where my WireMock instance is running in this port, and now I'll invoke the endpoint that I would like to automate. What is my endpoint? So /v1/USA is my endpoint. So let me specify that in my git bash. So /v1/USA. So what is happening, guys? The proxying is happening between the local host to the COVID-19 data flow kit site, and when it is reaching this particular endpoint, we are receiving an output. With the help of recorder, it is recorded as a stub and it is automatically placed in mapping directory. It is an extended functionality to the proxying operation. So let me hit enter to see what happens. So it is executing. You can see it has given me the output, active cases and all that. Now let me go back to the recorder and stop this recorder, and you would see that captured one stub mappings. Okay, so now let me go to the mappings directory to see how many stubs present. You see, I have got an additional stub, and if I open this file, you would see the contract present for COVID data kit flow. This is beautiful, isn't it? So now what I'll do, I'll create a request in my collection. This request, I would call this as recorder verification. I would call this as recorder verification, and I'll save this one. I think, not sure where exactly I've saved that one. Maybe, yeah, there it goes. So in the recorder verification, so what I would do http:// localhost 8081/v1/USA. So which means when I hit send, so it is identifying the stub that is present in the mapping directory and it is giving me the response. So please do understand, guys, if you guys still don't have a confirmation, let me turn off my internet connection so that I will not have any connection to my internet. So no way I can reach to the external website. I have disabled my internet connection, and you can see it is not connected. It is asking for it to connect. Now let me hit again, and you see still I was given the same response. So with the help of proxying technique, we were able to see the output, but we were never able to save that into our mapping directory. With the help of recording, we can do that operation. Like, so this is actually helping us in different ways. Like, one way is to, instead of writing the contracts manually, when you know a particular application, when you know the endpoints present in that application, you can record and generate the stubs. That is one thing. And second thing, as I explained, so when you do not have your downstream engagement or third-party engagement in your lower test environments, you can use this recorder option so that the stubs are present in your local, and you can point your test cases to this stub, and when the real-time implementation present, when you go to the higher environments, there you can actually hit the real-time APIs and verify the same is working there as well. So this is one of the interesting and coolest feature that I have seen in the entire test automation field. So the industry is moving towards left, and these kind of testings are given more and more priority. So please be focused on this learning. This is one of the important lecture that I've done so far in the WireMock and also in the karate. That important it is. So if you have felt like you have understood a great concept and it is really informative for you, don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to this channel and support me because when I push a video, so that you know that something is interesting there for you to learn, and that is how we can grow all together. So thank you so much for listening me throughout. So you have a great rest of today.